Hi friends, and welcome to Monitoring My TBR, the vlog series edition. Yep, I've been talking about it for a while. You know all of those reading down my TBR videos and series that's circling around on TikTok and YouTube. I'm finally jumping on the train. In one way, reading down my TBR is always what I've been trying to do. I've had this monitoring my physical TBR series for a few years now, like 3 or 4 years I think. I do quarterly check-ins where I count my physical TBR, how much I read, how much I've hauled, unhauled, all of that, tally it up so I know what my current physical TBR looks like. And I thought I would expand the universe of the monitoring my TBR to a vlog series where I actively read books from my physical TBR in order to get my physical TBR down. The way I hope to do this is by theming the videos in some sort of way, and in this video we are going to be tackling my current reads. I have plenty of books that I have been currently reading for years. Many years. My currently reading on Goodreads is at this moment at 21 books, and I honestly can't remember a time where it has been lower than 18. I think 18 is the lowest I've had that shelf on for a while. I think my goal for this video is to get that number down to 15, and I have some books in mind already that I will pick up, and then we're gonna see a bit. That is the theme for this vlog. And of course, if this is a part of monitoring my TBR, we need to know what my TBR is currently at. My goal has been for years, if you look back at like yearly reading goals and stuff, it has always been to halve my physical TBR. And every year that I go through the statistics of my reading, I realize how difficult that actually is. I've never been close to halving it, but perhaps doing this more focused vlog series will help with that. We're gonna see though. So I looked back at my latest monitoring my TBR video, the one from the end of June, where I have tallied up everything I read and hauled and so on. I ended at 148 books. Since then I have read an additional 4 books and then purchased 1 book, which means that my physical TBR is currently sitting at 145 books. That's where we at. The books I will be reading throughout this video are books I have at some point started and never continued to do it. The main stack I will be showing you are books I've actually started within the last 4 weeks I would say, so it's not that bad. But in order to get down to the 15 books I'm hoping to get down to, we're gonna have to look into some other current reads as well. But we're at 21 books, I want it down to 15, that means that there's 6 books at least that I should read and finish and wrap up or do something with, perhaps DNF in this video. The main TBR for this video are these 4 books, in addition to 2 we will figure out later on, perhaps by randomizing or mood reading, we will get there. But we have Assistant to the Villain. This is a book I started just a few days ago. I've recently come home from holiday in Malta. There will be a vlog for that, it's probably out by this time already. And yeah, this is one of the books I brought with me. I started to read it on my final night there, I think. I'm currently 70 pages into it out of, how many pages is it, like 340? I'm like 20% through it. And I feel like if I just focus on it, it's gonna be a fairly quick read. I can have it with me on my commute in the mornings. This is about a girl who gets a job working as an assistant to the like villain of the village. And she's also super duper crushing on her boss, the villain. So it's like a stupid romantasy. I'm not expecting much. So far the writing isn't anything to write home about, but I'm hoping it's gonna be entertaining at least. And I've had this on my TBR for a while now, so it's good that I'm finally knocking it out. And it's also working for the Buzzword-a-thon July challenge of reading a book with like an occupation in the title. So I'm going with assistant as the occupation. Second book, that is also a very recent book I started to read, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I am currently on page 748 out of 1137. Let's do the maths there. We're at 65%, almost 66%. So 2/3 of the book read. I have 1/3 left. I have 400 pages left. That is still insane. But at least this is looking good, right? This is also a book I started while I was away on vacation, and I am enjoying it. It's just taking a bit of time to read for obvious reasons. Also, I feel like one page in this book does not equal to like one page in this book, just saying. But this is something I really want to finish. I already have an idea of when I will pick up the sequel, because I do sort of feel like this isn't a book I would be able to read like in my everyday, sort of. I would be too distracted, it would take me too long. So it's good for me to have like a vacation or something where I can bring a book like this and focus on it 100%. And I do have an idea of when that time would be next if I were to pick up its sequel. But let's not talk too much about the sequel. We need to talk about this book right now. Basically, what is this about even? I've read 700 pages of it and I can't tell you. It's about a storm-ravaged, war-torn city where a new danger is arising, and we have a soldier who's fighting on the shattered plains, we have a general seeing visions of the past, and we have a clever scholar seeking an opportunity, and they are about to discover that their world is greater, more mysterious, and in more peril than they could ever imagine. This is like the high epic fantasy. But we're not following that many characters though. Kaladin is a soldier who is now a slave and is working with a bridge crew, and it's about him like getting to know the people in his crew and sort of training them, and he's slowly becoming a threat to its system and its order. And then we have our scholar, Shallan, who is taken on as a ward by a princess and studies a lot about philosophy, history, psychology, logic, things like that. And then we have the general seeing visions of the past. I'm still struggling with like how to properly describe this one. I am enjoying it. I'm not obsessed with it, but I am enjoying it, and there's a couple of characters I really like, so every time I get to their point of views, I'm very excited. I'm curious what's gonna happen. I know that Sanderson has a tendency to end his books with a bang, so I'm very curious to get to that part. Like 400 pages, that's like one normal book size, so that's good at least. Then another book I started right before my holiday is The Ballad of Never After. It's the sequel in the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. A series I really enjoy. I just think it's entertaining and fun and whimsical and fantastical and very like fairy tale-esque in a good way. I don't always vibe with fairy tales, but for some reason these books work for me. We are following Evangeline Fox. She sort of made a deal with the Prince of Hearts, Yax, in the first book, and she's still dealing with the consequences of that. And a bunch of things happen in the first book, so I feel like I won't be able to talk about this as much. But basically we're still dealing with the aftermath of that deal she made with Jax. And there's a new terrifying curse being revealed as well. And there's a romance. And these are fun, these are nice, I like them. And this one I am currently on page 62 out of 400. What is that? 15% of the book. So yeah, still got a way to go. And then the final book is a book I started to read maybe a month ago, probably. And I'm reading this for a specific video that I won't tell you about yet, but it is for a specific video. The book I'm reading is Hammerjang Jack. I will insert the cover as well. This is without the dust jacket. It's a gorgeous Illumicrate edition. I'm currently on page 200 out of 365, 55% into the book. And this is basically a heist book, a sci-fi heist. So our main character got set up for like a scheme back in the day, and she's been in prison in 8 years. We're in some sort of sci-fi space world. She just got out of prison, and all she wants is just to like settle down, help out her sister and her family with things, not get in trouble again. But she's struggling finding a job, and then her old like friend, partner, romantic interest comes back into the picture and asks her to join them for a new job. It's sort of like Ocean's 8, but gay. They're sort of getting this crew together to steal something from someone very important. It's a lot of great queer representation. I'm actually enjoying it. It's better than I expected. I think it's quite solid. I'm having a good time with it. It's fairly fast-paced. I like the characters, I like the storytelling. I really don't mind it. Is it the best thing I've ever read? No, but it's a good solid book actually, so I'm very happy with that. So I still have a bit to go, but it's been a fairly fast read. That is sort of my current TBR as of right now, and then we will need to find some more additional books at least. But all of these are books I'm currently enjoying and I'm certain I will finish. I think my main focus right now will be Assistant to the Villain as my commute book, meaning that this is the book I will bring with me. It's currently Sunday, tomorrow I'm going back to work, so this is the book I will have in my backpack. I will read it in the mornings and on my way home. This is sort of going to be my on-the-go book, just because it's a reasonable size to put in a handbag or put in my backpack compared to this one. At home I'm gonna focus on The Way of Kings first. It's too heavy to carry around. I look stupid carrying this book around. And hopefully I can finish these ones in the next few days. That would be great. I just need to focus. I just need to cut out some reading time for me. As soon as I finish those, I will have The Ballad of Never After as my commute book and Hammerjang Jack as my stay-at-home book. I always sort of do this way. I do like having multiple books going at once, so my currently reading will never be down to just one book. Realistically, it will probably be around 5-6 books at some point, but for me it's always a smaller paperback I can carry around, a bigger paperback or hardback that I read while I'm at home, perhaps an audiobook if I'm currently listening to one, and then maybe another additional book for some reason. So this is the start of monitoring my TBR, tackling my current reads, and then we have plenty of options for what my other current reads will be, but we'll figure that out at a later point. Just to mention a few so that you can anticipate what might come. Some of the books that are on my currently reading are Breaking Dawn. I'm still doing my Twilight reread, haven't gotten through that one for a while. Inferno by Dante. The Sword of Kaigen. Why haven't I finished that one? The Canterbury Tales. The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Heaven's Official Blessing. The Count of Monte Cristo. War and Peace. Not reading that one. There's plenty of books on there that I put aside at some point and never got back to. So let's now focus on catching up on some of my current reads, getting that list down, getting my physical TBR down. It's the final week of July, so I feel like this is the perfect time to do this. Let the vlog begin. Ran some errands throughout the day. I've tidied up a bit at home. I had some laundry to put away, and now I've poured myself a glass of white wine just because I can make it fancy, and I'm gonna sit down and read. Finally, I've barely read this week. I have read some in Assistant to the Villain, on my commute. I'm currently on page 116, so I am a third way through it now, which is good. But I'm gonna focus on The Way of Kings. I haven't read anything since I updated you, I think. So if I can focus on this one for an hour, get to page 800 at least, that would be awesome. I don't want to lose steam with this book. I was so good at reading it while I was on holiday. I know I've been a bit more busy now. I'm back to work. Yesterday, what did I do yesterday? Yesterday I babysat my nephew with my family, so that was the entire day. And the day before that, I went for a run with a friend and then had to do some food prep and all of that. So let's read a bit. I'm about to head to a friend's birthday celebration, so that's gonna be really cozy. I have yet to finish a book. I'm making some slight progress every day, but I don't know if it's I've been busy or I've been tired or what's been up, but I haven't yet finished a book. I need to have like a proper sit down and reading session, and for some reason I haven't really had that, except for on Thursday or Wednesday, I think. I have 200 pages left in The Way of Kings, so I've definitely had some progress. And in Assistant to the Villain, I'm more than halfway through. I think I have like 100 pages left, almost, or close to at least. So I'm doing progress, I just haven't finished anything yet. And on top of that, I started a new book yesterday. It's an audiobook though. I started to read In the Blink of an Eye by Joe Callaghan. I've seen Sam from Griff Reads rave about that thriller mystery series, so I decided to put it on the other day when I wanted an audiobook. So because of that, my currently reading is 1 up and nothing down yet, but at least I haven't added to my physical TBR. Just give me a few days and this one will be out of the way, Assistant to the Villain will be out of the way. Perhaps even today. Maybe I could finish Assistant to the Villain today, that would be awesome, because I might have some time to read on the train, maybe not. On top of that, I have another thing distracting me. This is sort of like a challenge, like can I find time to read? Yesterday I went to the movies, I saw the new Spider-Man Brand New Day. I loved it. Spider-Man is my favorite superhero, I've loved those movies since the Tobey Maguire ones. And I feel like the Tom Holland movies just get better and better. Like, I felt that way with the previous ones, like, oh, this is so good. And then the next one came like, oh, this is so much better. And now this one came and I was like, oh my god. So I was crying, laughing. Really, really, really enjoyed it. I'm very happy with it. I have 200 pages left. A lot of things has happened in the last 200 pages. It's always that way with Brandon Sanderson books. Everything always picks up closer to the end. There will most certainly be some sort of cliffhanger. Like there's a bunch of reveals. I am enjoying it. It's not gonna be a 5-star, I think it's gonna be a 4-star, but I am enjoying it. Assistant to the Villain, that one's... It could be so great, but I feel like it's not that well executed. I don't think it's well written, I don't think it's well paced. It's trying to be a bit more broad in its setting and give you this whole world, and I think it's doing it a disservice actually. I think they should have leaned more into the romance and the fun of it and the dialogue. There's quite a lot of like descriptions and like long paragraphs, and I don't care for that at all. I'm not reading this book to learn about a new world and get immersed into this world, this fairy tale-esque fantasy world. I'm reading it because I want to be entertained and get this sort of push and pull relationship between the villain and the assistant, and I want their banter and their conversations and the dialogue. And it's very little dialogue actually. I just think it's a disservice to the book. I think it should focus more on being entertaining and fun and romantic, and it's just quite draggy, I guess. I think it's just like a fun read, but I actually expected it to be better considering its hype, and I don't think it's that good. So now I think I'm about to head out really soon actually. I'm just gonna head out, have a day, and I'll catch up with you at some other point. It's time for another update because last night, I finished Assistant to the Villain. Yay! That's 1 down from my currently reading, that's 1 down for my physical TBR. That's awesome. I finished this book last night and I'm so glad I did, because I can't stand to read it anymore. I did not like this book. I thought I would at first, like the first 50 pages. I realized quite quickly that, oh, we're not aiming for quality here, we won't get any of that. But at least I thought I would be entertained and have fun, and that it would be tropey and cliched and possibly a bit spicy. And about halfway through I was still sort of optimistic. I still thought that, oh okay, I sort of like the vibe. But then like the second half just wasn't good. I did not like the direction the story was going. I did not like how things were developing. I did not enjoy how the story was being told. And it didn't entertain me the way I hope would compensate for all of it. I won't be continuing with the series. I don't think this is that well written. I feel like you could do so, like, I love the idea. I feel like you could do so much with it and none of that was done. I was disappointed. I expected more, if I'm being honest. So I will be unhauling this one at some point, but at least it's off my currently reading and at least it's off my TBR. And then my next ongoing project is, as we know, The Way of Kings. And I have less than 200 pages to read in this one. So I'm thinking that I'm gonna make an attempt for it tonight, okay? I have no other plans tonight. I have some things I should be doing around the apartment, but I'm gonna aim for wrapping up The Way of Kings instead. Wouldn't that be awesome? I am really enjoying it. I do want it to end because I want to feel like I'm able to focusing on other books, but I will definitely continue with the series. I know that already. I'm slightly scared because by now I know how Sanderson does things, and he always ends on a high. He always ends with unexpected turns, cliffhangers, all of that. I believe it's called the Sanderlanche or something like that. I feel like that's coming up. Because I had finished this one, which is usually the book I bring with me like on my commute in the morning and stuff, I decided to bring The Way of Kings with me instead. And I've never felt as much as a performative reader as when I sat down on the subway between two men and pulled this beast out of my bag and just put it down in my lap because it's too heavy to hold otherwise. I've never felt as performative. And I know that the joke with men, the performative reading is like feminist literature and stuff. I feel like this is the equivalent of being a female performative reader. Like pulling out a 1,000-page high fantasy beast and just like, oh, I'm just reading this on my commute in the morning. I felt so stupid. I'm never doing that again. I'm never doing that again. No, it wasn't worth it. Another thing I've been thinking about, or that I realized that it could be an adjustment to my currently reading. I have this stunning bind up of the Iliad and the Odyssey, translated by Samuel Butler, I believe. And I've had this for years and I've started reading it at multiple occasions. I'm like 60 pages in. It is on my currently reading, but I quite recently picked up the Emily Wilson translation of the Odyssey, which I intend to read because I've given this a few tries. I don't think this translation is for me, so I'm gonna attempt with this edition instead. But because of this, I now realize that I can switch around things a bit on Goodreads and on my currently reading, and I can, I guess, DNF this one because I will be reading the Odyssey here instead. So that means that I can remove this beast from my currently reading, and then once I actually start reading this one, then it will be added to my currently reading. So that, but either way, this means that my currently reading is down with another book as well, which is awesome. But now I'm gonna aim for some progress by doing something, which is finishing The Way of Kings. Hi guys! I have a few updates. A couple of days ago, I finally finished The Way of Kings. I freaking read this beast, okay? 1,137 pages. I read this thing. And the day after I finished it, I straight after work went to my favorite bookstore in Stockholm, the sci-fi bookstore, and picked up its sequel, Words of Radiance. That is even longer than The Way of Kings. This one is 1,208 pages. So I guess I'm committed to the Stormlight Archive now. The Way of Kings I ended up giving 4 stars. I expected it to be a 4-star. I never fell completely in love with it, but I started to grow attached. So I feel like there's room for me to be more and more impressed by the sequels in this story. But it's a strong start. I sort of did realize that the purpose of this book being so long isn't that it's supposed to fit a lot of things in. I talked about this, I think, where There's not necessarily that many characters. It's not like the story is taking place in like a really long time or something like that. It's just that the story is very fledged out. We're getting all of the details. Not in a boring way. The purpose of it is for you to get attached, to get comfortable with the story, with the characters, and just get attached, I think. So it really is about the journey. It really is about getting to know the world, getting to know the characters, getting to know the story. It's not about having a bunch of things happening. A lot of things do happen in this story, that's not it. Event and plot-wise, I feel like this story could have been cut in half. It could easily been a story around 500-600 pages. But because we get so much detail, we get so much info about these characters, we're learning so much about them, about their everyday life, all of that. We're getting attached. And I feel like that's the purpose of this. I'm very, very glad I read this. I feel like this is such a flex. And I'm actually quite excited to continue with the story now that I'm a bit more into it, now that I understand it a bit more. And I do really hope to get to its sequel soon. Possibly already in September, we will see. I'm gonna take a break, as of now, from these really chunky big books. But I picked this up because I feel like now that I'm in the Stormlight archive and am reading my Sanderson books more actively, I should really try to keep that pace up. I feel like I've seen people say that they prefer this over the first one, so that's promising. It's also just fun to compare how the books are looking like. Like, do you see the color change? How this has become like discolored and the spine is like bent. One book removed from my physical TBR and also my currently reading. Yay, that's great. But we added another book to my physical TBR, the sequel. Other than that, I am now currently reading The Ballad of Never After. I'm on page 100, meaning that I have like basically 300 pages left. This is messy. It's messy, but it's fun. Assistant to the Villain wasn't fun, and it was messy and poorly written and stupid. This one is all over the place. It's trying to do a lot, but it's entertaining. It has something that Assistant to the Villain didn't. I do much rather prefer this one. I don't think the plot is the best thing ever. I think it's trying too much. It's all over the place. We have vampires, we have magic, we have kingdoms. Like, it's doing a lot, and it's doing it while giving little to no explanation about things, about why things are happening. In this book we have our main female lead. She gets captured and injured, and we never really understand why that happened. We're just dealing with the aftermath of that, which could be something that's really off-putting to some people. I completely understand that. It would be for me as well normally. But because I just think this is entertaining, there's something about the characters that I'm just drawn to, it's okay. It's not like this is a favorite book, best read ever, 5-star, even 4-star, I don't think. But it's gonna be a solid 3-star, and I'm entertained and happy by it. And sometimes we just need that as a palate cleanser. And then also, considering that I now finished The Way of Kings, which was the book I had been reading at home for the last few days, I can continue with Have My Young Luck, which I'm like halfway through. These are my current physical reads. And then I'm also listening to In the Blink of an Eye. I'm like 30% into that one, which is good. I like the premise of, basically it's like a mystery thriller where a police officer gets teamed up with an AI and they sort of have to work together with these sort of cold cases. And I like the premise of that. I really like the interactions between our AI agent and the police officer and how they are sort of complementing each other, and like the AI has some advantages but the police officer has some, and sort of that. I feel like that's gonna be really interesting. The case itself is low-key boring, so I don't care too much about that yet, but I will continue listening to it. So I'm actually currently trying to convince myself to go out for a run, and I think I'm gonna listen to the audiobook while I'm out. Hi y'all, I just have a shower, so I know that I'm looking like a drenched cat. I'm feeling determined to get somewhere with my currently reading, because I suddenly have this feeling that I really, really badly want to read Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'm seeing it everywhere right now. I really want to get to it. So that's my aim. But in order for me to get to it, I need to finish this video and my current reads. So, I am currently reading Hammer Young Luck. I have about 100 pages left, I think, actually, or just a bit over. So I'm actually gonna make an attempt to wrap this up tonight. I have no plans tomorrow, I can stay up late, so... And then we have The Ballad of Never After, still reading that one as well. I think I have like around 300 pages left in that one. So that's gonna be tomorrow's focus. And then I also have an audiobook I'm currently listening to, as we know, so I need to finish that one tomorrow as well, because I really badly want to get the Dungeon Crawler Carl. I'll give you a proper update tomorrow about the books, what I think of them, and yeah, how I will get my currently reading down to 15. So yeah, but this is a solid read. This is basically a heist in space with only queer characters, and it's pretty good actually. Fast-paced, entertaining characters, Hawaiian representation as well. I think it's a good book. I don't have any issues with it at all. I am enjoying it. Let's hope it sticks the landing. Good morning. I finished Hammer Young Luck this morning. Finally. Or not finally, but I've been reading it for like 1.5 months now. And it is a really fast-paced and quick read to get through. So no issues with that at all. I enjoyed this book. I think it's good. I think it's solid. Is it something that stands out to me? Is it something that I will have amongst my favorites? No, not really. But it's a solid, well-executed book, I think. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. I especially really liked our main character, actually. I didn't really connect to anyone else, but our main character I really enjoyed, and her family. So I really enjoyed the family aspect of this, and our main character's like internal struggles and conflicts about doing what's right and doing what's necessary. The world didn't really stand out to me. Like, the heist plot wasn't really what was it for me, I think. I enjoyed this. I think it's well executed. I love the representation in it. I also really enjoyed, there's something called, I think it's called Hawaiian Pidgin, which is like an Hawaiian language. I think the author actually wrote about it. Like, the characters are Hawaiian, and it was important that their cultures were represented on page. So there's especially one character that speaks in Hawaiian Pidgin, which is some sort of Hawaiian Creolean language. I actually really appreciated that. It really grounded the story for me, and I would have loved to have more of that. It's actually a solid book. I'm glad I read it. I'm glad I got it off my physical TBR. I'm glad I got it off my currently reading. And I do feel like that book provided me with something. It left me with something, which is good. Just to do some math, we can now take this away from both my physical TBR and also my currently reading, which puts us currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18 books. 18 books am I currently reading. I am hoping to finish this one today. I am currently on page 140, 260 pages to go. I'm gonna make an attempt. We're gonna see. I don't know. We're currently at 18. This will get us down to 17. I also have that audiobook. Will get us down to 16. One book more in order to get to 15, which is the goal for this video. Now, I actually have an idea for this. which I think I'm gonna do. This is a book I started to read well over 2 years ago. It's The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I am, how far into it? 160 pages. In percentages, I'm 39% into this one. And this is like a found family sci-fi about this ship in space where we have a bunch of different characters of different species and things like that. And it's very, I would say, wholesome, queer positive, inclusive, with a lot of representation, all of that. But I put it aside those 2 years ago, and I've never really had the urge to pick it back up. Sure, I enjoy the characters, but it's very not heavy on the plot. The plot isn't really, I think this is one of those books where the plot isn't really the main thing. The characters and their stories are the main thing. And I heard some things about the series recently that made me less interested in this. And that is that basically each book in this series, the Wayfarer series I think it's called, focuses on a different character or a different story. If it had been that it's like an overarching plot within this trilogy, I think I would be more inclined to pick this back up again and give the series a go. But if it's more the case that in each book we're focusing on a new character in this crew and their story, I just don't think I can motivate myself enough to prioritize this. I have read Becky Chambers before. She's the writer of the Monk and the Robot series that I absolutely adore and love. I've also been super interested in reading their novella To Be Taught If Fortunate, but I just think that this Wayfarer series might not be for me. Or it is for me, but it's not, considering all of the other books I have, all of the other books I'm interested in reading, this just isn't a priority. So I actually think I'm gonna unhaul this, which means removing it from my currently reading, removing it from my physical TBR, and that way we'll knock another book off that list. I'm heading out for work, but I have an update to make. Instead of reading The Ballad of Never After yesterday, I read like 7 pages in this one. I really had this urge to pick up another book, and that book is Dungeon Crawler Carl. I started this one yesterday. I am currently on page 94, so I've read like a fifth of it, and I'm really enjoying it. I've been seeing this everywhere. I know everyone's been seeing it everywhere, and I've really been seeing it everywhere for a year, but lately, like this last month, it is everywhere. Everyone's reading this one. Everyone's making videos about it. Like, it went from being everywhere to even more everywhere, crazily enough. And I just had this urge that I really badly wanted to pick it up, so I did. Setting me back a bit on the currently reading challenge. Yeah, I just needed to make that quick update that I did start another book. I listened quite a lot to In the Blink of an Eye yesterday, so I only have like 20% left in that one, so that's good. It's getting better. I'm getting more intrigued by the story. We have some more personal stakes in that. I'm still gonna aim, I think, to finish In the Blink of an Eye and perhaps The Ballad of Never After before I end this vlog. Hi friends! It's been a few days since I updated you, and I honestly haven't been reading that much. I've been distracted by other things. I've been wanting to do other things. I was away this weekend for a birthday celebration. Yesterday I played some Kingdom Hearts. I haven't played video games for ages, and it was so much fun, and I really badly want to continue with it because I got really hyped when all of the new things were announced with the trailer and the release date and all of that, so I'm very excited about that. So I haven't read anything in Dungeon Crawler Carl, nothing in The Ballad of Never After. I did finish In the Blink of an Eye, so let's adjust the numbers. I believe I gave it 3 stars. I like the premise a lot, so I'm definitely going to continue the series. I'm gonna listen to the series because it is like a mystery thriller series. It was alright. I just think that that particular mystery wasn't that intriguing for me. But I've heard that it gets better and that people really enjoy the later books. So I will definitely pick up the sequels. I feel like it's a good solid mystery series to listen to. I guess that was one reading update. The focus for the upcoming days is to finish The Ballad of Never After. I just really want to move on from this vlog and from that book, and I'm more interested in reading Dungeon Crawler Carl or picking up something else, if I'm being honest. I don't know what it is. I enjoy that series, I really do. I think it's really entertaining, fast-paced, but it's also a bit too messy and a bit too just all over the place. And it's entertaining, but it can also be a bit too much, I think. So I will continue with that series. I will finish this book, but it's not something I'm like drawn to currently. It's not something I really want to do, which is why I'm never finishing the book. I just want to wrap up this vlog and pick up something else. So I am determined. I'm gonna make an attempt. We'll see if it actually happens. To finish The Ballad of Never After. I picked this up again last night before bed. Read like 20 pages. Read like, say, 15 pages this morning. And I feel like I'm into it again. I now want to get through it. So I have 164 pages to go, which is quite a lot. And probably wouldn't be doable on a normal evening. But I feel like the story is so insanely fast-paced that it might be possible. It's just after 8 o'clock. So if I just like sit here for 2 hours, maybe I could finish this book finally. Honestly, I'm here for Evangeline and Jax. That's all I'm here for. I don't really care about the world. I don't really care about the other characters. I just want their banter and like Jack's flirtiness and the things surrounding those characters. I don't care about other things. I think that's why I sort of felt that it was a bit slow at first. There's so many other things going on. But if I get these bits of Jax and Evangeline throughout, I will be happy. So I'm gonna sit down now. I'm gonna find some sort of ambience room. I'm gonna read this. I even poured myself a glass of wine. I'm gonna make this an enjoyable Tuesday evening. And maybe I can get through this. It's very optimistic. I am aware. It's very optimistic. But I'm gonna give it a proper go. like Jax, okay? He has some banging quotes. I need to read you one. There's this one scene where Evangeline is hurt and he's about to like stitch her up, help her with her wounds, and he sort of rips her dress off in order to get easier access to the wounds. And she asks, was that really necessary? And he says, no, but everyone should have their clothes ripped off at some point. Yeah. The second scene that has got me squealing is now a scene where Jax is hurt and Evangeline is trying to help, and she says, I suppose it's going to heal on its own, like sarcastically. And he says, yours did. She says, after you tended to them. And he says, only because I wanted to take off your clothes. I like Jax. Jax got game. Like the flirting. I love the flirting. It's very confusing. The story is very confusing. I don't care about it. But the flirting? The flirting is something. I also found the most perfect like playlist on YouTube for this. It is called Once Upon a Broken Heart, an instrumental romantasy reading playlist. And there's so many like stunning images, and the music is like various fairy tale-esque instrumental scores, which is awesome. I believe we have had music from like Narnia, from David Jones' Locker, and then just a bunch of cool things in between, and there's like stunning imagery as well. It's just really, really nice. It really sets the vibe. I'm very happy with my choice of playlist, so that is cool. I haven't read as much as I intended. I've been on the phone with my friend for the majority of the evening, but I'm on page 306 now, so I'm at least over page 300, have less than 100 pages to go, and we'll see for how long I keep this up. I'm not certain I will finish it tonight, but I will probably most definitely finish it tomorrow. We are getting more scenes between Evangeline and Jax now, and things aren't as rushed. They are still rushed. A lot of things are happening, but they are at least in the same place for most of the chapters now. And I like that. I like this place. I like the place that they are at. I like what's going on between them, the flirting, the finally getting some answers, hopefully. So I'm into this now.
A few moments later.
I'm sorry, but there's too many good moments, Kirky. I'm just asking you to stay the night. You won't even remember. What do you mean I won't remember? I mean, it's just one night, he said softly. In the morning you can forget it. You can go back to pretending you don't like me, and I can pretend I don't care. But for tonight, let me pretend that you're mine. Hi friends! It is the 19th of August. This vlog has been going on for a while, I know. But the 19th of August, I'm about to head to the office. Then tonight I'm going to a birthday dinner. My best friend is turning 30 today, which is exciting. So it's another birthday celebration. This is basically the vlog where I go to a lot of birthday celebrations. I think during the course of this video, I've been to 4, including this one. So yeah, that's why I'm perhaps looking a bit more made up. But yeah, still gonna work before that. But another thing to celebrate, and this is a big one, is that I finished The Ballad of Never After. You know how I said last night that, oh, I probably won't finish it? Yeah, I devoured the final 100 pages or so. There's crack in these books. There's something about them that at some point just makes them super addictive. But you know it's not good for you, you know it's not quality, and yet, I find myself squealing about these books. I had a blast. Like, the first half of the book was a bit of a drag, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is such a vast fairy tale world that it's almost difficult keeping track of what's going on. It's just like the author has just shoved in so many different things, so many tropes, so many themes, all of that in this one series. And it is a bit too much. It is quite messy. It never really lets you sit with an emotion. It never really lets you sit with a feeling. There's pace, like it's so freaking fast paced. There's never really a slow moment. And somehow it being that fast paced and always having things happening actually makes it so that it becomes boring occasionally. It's like the twists and turns don't really feel that much because you're not allowed to sit with what's happening. It's never really that you feel something, I guess. So it's like the first half, so much is happening. Like we're going from this legend to this fairy tale to this thing, and then you're like, okay. But then the second half, it actually slowed down a bit. It chilled a bit. It let us sit with what was happening. And that I liked. And also the only thing I care about in the series is anything and everything happening between Evangeline and Jax. I love their flirty banter. I love Jax. I think it's just like a really cool, mischievous guy. I think it's fun. Those are the parts I enjoy, and I got a lot of that in the second half, which is what sped it up for me. So that was good. Yeah, the last 100 pages, whew. Yeah, there's still like a crazy amount of things happening, it sort of worked. And it made me very excited to pick up the next book, which I own, which is perfect. So at some point, hopefully this year, I can finish the series. I've heard that this one isn't as good, and that makes me a bit nervous. But all I want is just Evangeline and Jax. I also love the playlist I found last night. I will link it in my description. It was so great. It was very fairytale-esque. We had like Narnia music, Peter Pan music. Like, it was awesome and really stunning as well. I even, like, when I was in bed, I just had to dog ear a few things. I was like, I don't know what to do with this, but I really need... It was the 2 flirtatious quotes I told you about yesterday. But then there was this part that I just really like the writing here, where we are being described Jack's smile, and it says, "It was a smile like a fairy tale. Part villain, part hero, part impossible ever after." I liked that part. I liked the part impossible ever after part. I just did. This knocks one off the currently reading. This knocks one off the physical TBR. It makes me progress in a series. It also knocks off one of the prompts for Buzzwordathon back in January, where we had to read a book with never in the title. So I've been meaning to read this book since then and never just got to it. I ended up giving this book 3 stars, because like the first half really was draggy. I really didn't enjoy it, but the second half really made up for it. But like, I think I gave the first book 3.5 stars. It's like a mid-series in execution, but it does a lot for me, feelings-wise. I had such a great time reading this last night, I really did. What a turn, right? Finishing this book means that I can finish this vlog! Oh my god, we did it! So, I believe we've gone from 21 books on my currently reading to 16, because I started to read Dungeon Crawler Carl. I would say that this video has been a success. This has also been a good example of how I sometimes struggle with my current reads. Like, I really lost pace when I got to this one, because all I wanted to do was to pick up other things. So yeah, it makes sense why I have so many books on my currently reading when I try to focus on the books I was currently reading. But now I'm gonna pick up another book. I haven't decided which one yet, but I need to pick up another book. And my currently reading will go up again, because I need a commute book. So it's like a never-ending story. The wheel keeps on turning. My currently reading will never really be done, but I'm slowly making choices to get it to a lower number at least. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!